some people think, I feel like I'm cheating. You're not cheating.
You really have to read through the lines. You don't just copy and paste.
There might be someone listening to this that has no idea what ChatGPT or BARD AI is. It's a chatbot. It's like you're talking to someone, just like the two of us are talking, but you're really talking to artificial intelligence. Hey there. In an industry dedicated to enhancing lives in the DME, respiratory, rehab industry, from the very air we breathe to the devices that support our mobility and independence, we are constantly on the lookout for groundbreaking innovations. The durable medical equipment industry, respiratory, and rehab industry has always been at the forefront of harnessing technology for the betterment of human health, or at least as most as the reimbursement can take us, I would say. But hey, what if that next leap isn't just about machinery or devices? What if it's about harnessing power of artificial intelligence in our conversations, in our patient interactions, and decision-making progress or in processes? April and I today, it's one of those things, I would have felt better waiting 6 to 12 months to have this podcast episode, but we talk so many times about AI, Chat GPT, BARD. There are other AI platforms out there. We're like, you know what? I think our listeners would love to hear at least kind of a primer episode on how we're using it not only in the United States, but offsite as well too. So today's episode, we're going to delve into the exciting integration of ChatGPT in the DME industry. Is it a digital oracle? Is ChatGPT not just a chat bot, but is it a revolution shaping how we gather patient insights, address queries, and optimize care plans? Or is it just another quick program that's just going to kind of come and go and not use it anymore? So anyway, today we're going to dive into this. And April, I was so excited when it came out. I don't know, whenever it did come out. I've been using it nonstop because I love new things. So April, what is like the coolest thing you have used ChatGPT for?
When I need to write a formal letter, I go over to ChatGPT. I just put in a keyword. What is it the letter for? And then it's going to help me provide those. Now, if it's still lengthy, I can just type in again another keyword. Can you make it short and simple, or can you make it concise? It's that easy. It's easy to use, and at the same time, I can gather some information, not really like copy and pasting it. I want to make sure that it has myself on it. So what I do is I copied it, and then I read through it, and then change things here and there to make sure that it's coming from me, not from the bot itself.
You don't want to take it all hook, line, and sinker. People will know it's taken from someone else. Now,
yes.
There might be someone listening to this that has no idea what ChatGPT or BARD AI is. What it is it's a chat bot. So it's like you're talking to someone, just like the two of us are talking, but you're really talking to artificial intelligence. So you can say, hey, where is the best pizza place to eat in Yakima, Washington? Or I need to write an email to this customer, and this is what I'm dealing with. So like literally, I have typed into ChatGPT, I am writing an email to a customer that is a jerk. How can I write an empathetic email to this customer and tell them that their CPAP machine is not going to get covered because the sleep doctor did not give them their AHI needs to be this? I hit that, and basically it allows me to be blunt, but then it will write the email for you that needs to go to the customer, or at least I will even use it sometimes to give me a script to talk to the customer on the phone. Very, very helpful. So essentially what it is it's number one is generative. I'm reading off of ChatGPT for this. It's generative. So GPT models can generate human-like text based on the input they receive. So this makes them ideal for a wide range of tasks, from answering questions to writing essays, stories, or even code. So that's number one. Number two, it's pre-trained. So before fine-tuning on specific tasks, the model undergoes extensive training on vast amounts of text data. This pre-training gives the model a general understanding of language, context, facts about the world, et cetera, et cetera. Now, it is not entirely accurate. So if you use this thing, hook, line, and sinker, you're going to have problems. But what it does do is it acts as a good starting point. So if you're ever having writer's block, or hey, what's this next meeting going to be on? Or let's say you have a subject, you can say, hey, I'm going to be teaching my team on emotional intelligence. Give me 3 to 5 things to talk to my team about. And it will give you that. And then you take that. Or I might say, hey, I want further insight on what happened in the DME industry between 2010 to 2015? Tell me about it. And it will scour newspaper articles and you name it, and it will really summarize it for you. And then last is it's a transformer. So this refers to the underlying architecture used by the model, which is responsible for its impressive language capabilities. So this is unlike Google. This transformer architecture has been a revolutionary advancement in deep learning for natural language tasks. So it's starting to sound more and more human. It is not human at all, but it is a tool. So just like right now we're talking on a computer, or as I'm holding up in my hand, a ink-based pen, tools have come along and it's just a new tool that we can use should we choose to use it. So let's start with the Offsite team. So our team is kind of divided. Half of us are in the United States, half of us are in the Philippines. Give me one or two areas that our Offsite team is using ChatGPT or BARD, which is Google's version. It's called BARD AI. Give me one or two reasons or ways that they are using it today.
Actually, whenever we're talking to someone, we tend to rely. We don't just respond like automatically because we might say things differently. English is our second language, and it's your first language. It's your native language. So there's some sorts of words that we might use on a different, or it has a different meaning. So we go to ChatGPT. How do we respond to this? Because we've also found out that the ones in America, in the United States, they're very much direct as compared to us in the Philippines. We tend to, avoid conflict. So we go to ChatGPT. How do I respond to this message? Just like with yours, with the empathy and all, how do we respond accurately?
Absolutely. And some people think, I feel like I'm cheating. You're not cheating. If anything, so when we first got this, I think it was like week 2, I posted on our intra office, I'm like, everyone needs to get an account. I want you to start using this. Just play with it. And it's getting better and better and better. Now, a couple things. Never put patient data into this thing. We are all in medical. Don't ever put my name as Joe Smith and here's this. Don't ever put any of that into it. It is not secure. This is just for conversation. What did the person mean when they said this? Or what does this mean? And it really does help with the cultural some of the cultural things that we encounter. I will let you know, last time I went to the Philippines, I was using this in the Philippines on my smartphone. What does this do? And it was telling me. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I'm like, I did not know that. And then I would say, hey, Andrew, which is your husband, for those who are listening, or April, is it really this? You'd be like, yeah, it is. I'm like, how did ChatGPT figure that out? One cool thing is, as of right now, it's totally free. I do pay for the upgraded ChatGPT 4, which I think as of the recording of this podcast is still only $20 a month. Well worth it if you're doing a lot of content creation or leading a lot of meetings. But there are basically two things. There's ChatGPT and then there's BARD. BARD is Google. And I have found that we do utilize both. So ChatGPT basically stopped incorporating new data in 2021. So if you need anything new, if you're like, who won the World Series last year? ChatGPT will not tell you. If it needs new data, I recommend go over to BARD, because BARD is Google and that's updated in real time. So you can say, based on last week's football games, who do you think is going to win next week's football games? Or you can say something like that. I haven't tried that one. There are certain topics that are off topic for AI, artificial intelligence. But so BARD tends to be a little bit better, but because it's I don't want to say better, more current, but it can also get things really, really off. So you can say, please tell me, I have a lot of good examples, but you're going to have to ask them to me off camera of how you can use this for your DME industry. I'm like, really, really good way. So if that's just, anyway, call me and I'll give you some good ideas of how to use BARD specifically to grow your DME. But for example, you can say, when I was visiting my daughter in Montana 2 weeks ago, I said, I would like a salad for dinner and my daughter would like a hamburger. What's a good sit-down place that's between $10 and $20? I popped it out, and then Bard gave me 3 really good examples. Now, how is Bard doing this? You always have to ask, how is it doing it? Typically, it's reading Google reviews, which is why Bard is really, really current. It's also reading Yelp and other things. So essentially what Bard is doing, it's just scouring the internet, and then it's putting all this data together. Now, as we do know, there's a lot of garbage on the internet. So it is scouring garbage as well too. So bad data in, bad data can come out. So as you know, you cannot take it hook, line, and sinker, but it at least gets you a really good starting point. I've used it a lot with different vendors or even thinking of ideas. Here's a problem that I have. What would be your recommendation for this solution? Would be an example. So what are some of the downsides that you found from using AI as you lead the offsite team, or even as you've talked to different team members?
Oh, well, sometimes it gives inaccurate information. So when I ask for something, how do you say this? And then it's going to give you inaccurate information, which is not good. So
No.
you really have to read through the lines. You don't just copy and paste. I'd say you have to be careful when using the AI, but I'd say this is very helpful, especially for us offsite, because as what I mentioned earlier, if we have to create a cover letter or an email to send out to the team, it's helpful because it gives us, like, there is this path that you can take, but it does not necessarily have to be copy and pasted, but it just gives you the idea or insights.
Yeah, it's wonderful at that. Or you say, hey, I'm driving from this store to this store. What are 3 options of a path that I might want to take? Or what are the odds of this happening? And it can, because it essentially, it's reading all the blogs on the internet, so you don't have to do the research yourself. Another advantage of Bard over ChatGPT is Bard will also give you links. So you can actually click on the links that it's going to. ChatGPT does not do that. And some of the things that worries me about Chat is I'm like, where did it get this info? Because
Right.
some of it's really, really wrong, but some of it's really great. So it's really helpful. The way I will do it is I will start with my own ideas. I will then paste it in, and then I will work with kind of what came out next, and then I will use it to proofread. That's frequently how I will do it. But it really is intuitive, and it's changing things very, very quickly. What's interesting is I have found that our US-based staff is way less likely to use it than our offsite team staff. Why do you think that's the case?
I think it's because of the language as well, because English is our second language. And as I mentioned earlier, there are some words that we use, or there's a different meaning on the words that we use as compared to the locals or the native in the US. So that's probably, and we want to make sure that we're going to say it correctly in a proper way. So,
I never put 2 and 2 together. It does. Remember, we've been talking about how our offsite team is almost catching up and even beating our onsite team regarding sales. Hey, it might be. I do know they are using it. So it's one of those things. It's a tool. You can use it. I mean, back in the days of the horse and carriage, I mean, horses were great. But once the automobile came out, no one says, the horse is faster. No. Get yourself a nice automobile to go from point A to point B. So I'm going to kind of leave it there. I have lots of other thoughts on this, but it's so cutting edge. We do use this a lot with our doctors and in regards to some other things, but that's going to be all off record that I would be more than happy to talk to any of our clients about. Or if you're interested in hiring an offsite team member, I'd love to tell you about it. We've had all sorts of fun with this. Use it a whole lot at the International Seating Symposium within the last year, and I have some fun stories on that, but definitely not podcast worthy at this time. I don't want to get myself in trouble, but it's awesome. So give me a call. I'll tell you all about it. So, hey, here's how the offsite team works. April oversees our team. She's the president of offsite team, and her role is to train people for your business. I think we have 1 or 2 that are ready to be placed right now. So give us a call. But what do? We streamline the recruitment process. So you tell us you need a fax wrangler. You need a communications team member. You need someone to help you confirm orders, or with rehab chart notes, or looking at oxygen CMNs and getting them from the doctor. We have people that can help your team and increase your profit. We look at an extensive talent pool, so that's how we come up with. We have boots on the ground in the Philippines, so this is where it's not like I'm just picking them out of a hat. These people. They're friends of yours. You've worked with them. So we offer a personalized matchmaking experience. We are very, very affordable. You'd be shocked how affordable and what this is going to do to your company, DME, rehab teams, profit margin. And then also, once you jump on and have one of our team members, you know what? We're also going to keep offering you ongoing support and monitoring. That's what we have. So hey, if you are interested, go to offsiteteam.com, send me an email, give me a call. We'd love to talk to you, either April or myself. And until next week, when we do something fun, you guys take care.